work is work. Labor is labor. I'm sorry. What's up, you guys? It's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ashley, aka AshNash. Stay a while, watch a few videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you are returning, as always, thank you so much for watching. Today we have a sit down video. I know it's been a minute, but this topic was honestly on my mind, and I honestly kind of touched on it a little bit in the end of my last vlog. And when I was rewatching that footage back when I was editing, I kind of got more ideas and more inspired by it to talk about it. So I don't know what the title of this video is going to be just yet, but I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about like career advice, just because I know that the popular thing and the thing that's on everyone's mind, even mine, is becoming an entrepreneur, right? But the fact of the matter is that 9 to 5 still exists, normal jobs still exist, and there are a lot of people that don't want to be an entrepreneur. That's not for everybody. So I did kind of want to talk about some things that I've learned, things I'm learning, and things I've grown into from college up until now. If you guys are new here, I did graduate college in 2020. The year of hell. No, I'm just kidding. The year the pandemic really took off. So my experience in my last year was a little different, but overall, just kind of want to touch on certain things. I'm not gonna like linger on the college part for too long. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about getting your first job and out of college, and then also maybe like your second or third job as well, just because I have either been through those things, or I'm approaching those things, or I'm going through them now. And there's just a few things that I feel like, if I say things one more time, there are a few topics that I feel like would be beneficial to somebody that's going through that now, or that will be going through it in the future. So I just kind of wanted to share my experience. If you have already gone through this, or if I touch on something, because I'm kind of going to break it down to categories, or like little, I don't know. I'm probably going to do it to like categories. And I want this to kind of be short and sweet. Like I said, it's just on my mind to kind of talk about. So I did just want to go ahead and bring it to my platform, because I know that it'll be helpful to somebody. Like I said, if you have gone through this, or maybe you're about to go through, if you have any insights, or any advice or suggestions that you feel like will be helpful even for myself, please leave it down below in the comments, because you can help somebody too. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So I feel like it's only right that we start with college, because you know, those be the steps. First, let me start by saying college is not for everyone, and you do not need to go to college to be successful. There are a lot of career paths out there that don't require that. Do what's best for you. I'm not advising that you have to go to college, and I'm not advising that you shouldn't go to college. Make the best decision for you. Like I said, I can only speak from my experience, and even like interactions that I've had. So I'm going to include college just because I have some things I can discuss there, like I said, because I've gone through that. You know, the number one thing that came to me when I was thinking about this is it's kind of crazy, you know, to be 18, fresh out of high school. First off, they don't even teach you real life things in high school, but you want me to come out of high school and be like, yep, I want to study that and do that for the rest of my life. That's the one. Like, it's a tough decision. It's a decision you shouldn't take lightly. And that's not to say that you can't choose something and pivot later, because you can, and there's a lot of studies that you can even do that with. But it's just that it's a tough decision. And to be honest with you, I feel like a lot of people that come out of college, or sorry, come out of high school, at the time, I feel like the weight of that decision or the journey that you're about to embark on doesn't seem as serious. You honestly feel like you're prepared to do that, like you're prepared to make that decision. But I know for myself and even friends, family, that have gone to college as well, like looking back on it, it's like that's kind of wild. Like 18, fresh out of high school where they really don't teach you nothing about life, and I'm supposed to just be like,
yep, I want to do that forever. That's the one for me. I'll go with that.
It's kind of crazy. And if you're lucky, you choose right. But some people, either it's chosen for them, or maybe down the line they realize that's not something they want to do and they end up changing their studies, or even when they're well out of college, down the line they end up changing their mind as well. And there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. We have the power of choice, and I think that everybody and anybody should be able to exercise that right. But one thing that I would advise if you are in college or about to enter into college is to really think about what you want to study, what really interests you, what can you see yourself doing for a long period of time. Is this study flexible? Can you pivot down the line by still using that degree, but to do something else, or it can help you in something else later down the line. So it shouldn't be like the weight of the world on your shoulders. I'm not saying that, but just take a little bit of time to really think about it. I consider myself to be lucky because I chose a study that I feel like is so me. It fits me even to this day. And I know that I can pivot with that. I study mass media communication, by the way. So even with YouTube, I can use it here. It's helpful here. Choose something that really interests you and that you can use down the line. Some people even just use their study as like a stepping stone. Like, oh, I want to work a traditional job for this amount of years, but then and use that job to maybe become financially stable, and then I'm gonna drop that and start this. Do what's best for you. Like, all those things are completely possible, and for my generation and generations to come after me, the world is your oyster, as they say. You can really do anything. You can do anything you want to do. But if you're somebody that's about to go into college, or maybe you're in college and this is something that's kind of weighing on you or is stressing you out a little bit, that would just be my advice. Just make sure you really think about it, something that really interests you. And if your study has been chosen for you, and it's really not something that you can see yourself doing for a long period of time, maybe think about having those tough conversations with the people or the person that chose that path for you. It's different for everybody, but that's my little tidbit on your college journey, and enjoy the journey at that. Make sure you enjoy it, whether that's studies, the whole college experience as a whole. This whole video, all the topics I'm touching on, enjoy the journey of it all, because it's all really a learning experience, and there's fun and lessons in all of it. So moving on. Okay, so moving on to your first job out of college. So there's a lot of things that I did in my first job out of college that I am happy that I did, and there's a few things that I would tweak. So I really feel like your first job out of college, if it's something that is really a stepping stone, career-wise, there are just some things you don't really think about going into it. It's kind of it's all new, right? So you really don't know what to expect. But this is an adult decision, okay? This is welcome to adulthood, okay? And it's all cute, it's all fun, and it's all games. But there are some things that are not fun, and there are some things that are. So first, let me just start off by saying my first job, I feel like one of the best things you can do is just absorb as much as you can. I mean, absorb, obviously in learning your role, learning your position really well, but also just absorb knowledge from the people around you, just because you will find that you are being developed professionally without even knowing it, just by like your interactions and you networking, your experiences. I felt like I learned so much and I was taking so many stepping stones, but in the moment of that happening, I really didn't realize it was happening. I was just kind of taking advantage of the whole experience, and I was putting little nuggets like in my back pocket, and that really helped develop me. I was really absorbing as much as I could, and in turn, which y'all probably heard in one of my other videos, I ended up getting promoted twice at my last job, and that was in like a year and a few months. So I'm gonna touch on something that I know helped lead to that, but could be a bad thing. But give me a second. So learn as much as you can from the people around you. Learn as much as you can about your role. But another thing that I would pay attention to is the structure. How is your training laid out for you? Who are the go-to people? Are they available? Do you feel like you can actually ask them things and get valuable answers? Do you feel like they are actually invested in developing you professionally, or for you to get to the next step, or so that you can be successful in that role that you're in? Honestly, these are kind of things that like I feel like I took mental note of, and I definitely was not afraid to ask questions when it came to a certain point. Because I'm the type of person, like, I want to learn how to do something, I want to learn how to do it right. And I want to be the best at it. Like, I want to be really good at it, and I want to perform really, really well. Like, I'm definitely a person, like, I want to add value. Rude. I want to add value where value is being added to me. And honestly, even when it's not being added, like even if I know I'm about to make a transition or whatever the case may be, like I always just want to put my best foot forward. Don't be afraid to like ask questions. Pay attention to training, development, the people around you. Do you have enough resources? Have you been provided those resources? Do you really like the structure of it all? Like I said, I feel like some of those things I did like take mental note of, and other things I really didn't think about it until months had gone by, or maybe until like the very end of my time there, going into my next position. Pay attention to all of those things, because again, it's okay to pivot. And when you feel like, I don't really think this is the good fit for me. Okay, well, what is the good fit for you? I feel like you need to be able to look back on either the situation that you're currently in, or the situation you're trying to get out of, whatever the case is, so that first position, and be able to ask yourself, okay, what do I like? What don't I like? Some of those things are like non-negotiables in your next position. Do you feel like, I like that, but if I don't get that in my next position, like I'm okay with that? Or do you feel like I really love this, and if the next job isn't offering this, I can't move forward? I do feel like jobs can like really stress you out, or take a toll on you, especially when it's something that's new to you. But also like when you're just not in a certain mindset, like if you can't like compartmentalize certain things, like work from home. And honestly, I struggle with that too, and that's a whole different topic. But I'm just saying, like, take mental note of these things, so that when you do decide to take that next step and go somewhere else, you know what you're looking for. Like, you're sure about what you're looking for, what you don't want. You can point out those red flags faster than you did the first time. And no job, let me say this, no job will be perfect. Even if you're working for yourself, I can guarantee you it will not be perfect. It's just not realistic. No, I mean, work is work. Labor is labor. I'm sorry. But you want to get the most out of it, especially because that's probably what you spend the majority of your day doing. Okay? So just be sure that you're taking mental notes of things like that. And lastly, before I move on to the next thing, I was kind of touching on this. Like, if you no longer feel like you are growing, or you don't feel like you're valued, or you don't feel like it's just not enough, it's okay to take a step back and leave if you have to. It's also okay to take a step back, reassess, assess what you like, what you don't like, and take it to the proper person to try to get it fixed, and then move on from there. Like, don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. Like, you are going to be your biggest advocate in life. So Don't be afraid to speak up in a professional way, of course, professional, respectful, but don't be afraid to advocate for yourself in the workplace. Actually, I just thought about something else. That I worked really, 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 really hard my first job out of college. Like, I worked hard, okay? And I like was rewarded for that in a sense, but part of me kind of feels like maybe I worked too hard. And I'm partly to blame for that. Like, sometimes you can get too invested into something that's not really that, like, it's not reciprocated, you know? And that's okay. So if I had to give myself a piece of advice in that way, like, I would definitely still put my best foot forward, and I would definitely still try hard and add value. But you don't always have to, like, overextend yourself to prove that you're committed or you're dedicated or you want to do a good job. You don't have to overextend yourself. I think that does nothing but stress you out and wear down on you. And honestly, it can make you even a little bit resentful. So don't overextend yourself. Obviously, do your part. Carry your own weight, okay? I'm not telling you to be lazy and slack off. Carry your own weight, but you don't have to do too much, okay? You don't have to do too much. Moving on. So the stage of life I'm in right now with my career. So I just got a new job. I started this position in the beginning of January, and my like overall well-being, my mental state, my emotional state, like my happiness meter has just gone up levels, okay? Let me tell you why. I'm not going to sit here and like try to blame everything on like, oh, like my last job was terrible. Like, I had really good times there. Like I said, I accomplished a lot there. But again, going back to what I said, like taking notes of what you liked and what you didn't like, and picking out those things of like, I need this in my next position, or I really didn't like that, so I really can't tolerate that in this next stage. I feel like I really took that into consideration when I started looking for another position, and that paid off. Again, like I said, I started that position at the beginning of January, so it's only been, in 2 days it'll be a month. So actually, by the time y'all see this video, it'll be a month, and so far so good. Some of the things that I wished were different in my previous position, I've seen an improvement on in my new one, just like with the company overall, and I'm happy about that. So I would say that thinking about what I liked and what I didn't like before helped, and then just thinking about what I myself could have done differently too also played a part in it. A lot of things, I feel like a lot of people have a mindset, myself included, especially when it comes to certain situations, that like things are happening to you, things are happening to me. But a lot of things like you can change. Like, there have been like a lot of things that like you stay in for too long just because like you feel like you have to, but really you don't. And you always have like this mindset like, why okay, what are you doing to change it? And I had to like take accountability on my part too. Like I said, overextending myself. Needless to say, every experience. Alright, y'all, my camera cut off. I guess it's telling me to wrap it up. Needless to say, every experience is gonna have good, bad. It's gonna be there will be some fun times, there will be some lessons learned. We can always learn from every situation that we're in. Like I said, I just felt inspired to kind of talk about this a little further, just because it's been on my mind heavy as I've been going through these different stages, especially as I'm in my newest stage. So I don't know, I don't think these conversations are being talked about very much these days. Like I said, being an entrepreneurship is just like the most, I'm not gonna say the most common, but it's talked about very heavily. And I think that sometimes people forget like normal jobs do exist, and not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, you know? So whatever path you decide to take career wise, whether it be with a company, whether it be for yourself, if you're going into college, whatever the case is, think about what you really want to get out of it. What do you want to learn? How do you want to grow? What resources can help you get to those levels? What people can you meet along the way? Sometimes there's a lot of people that you'll keep with you as you go on through life, and I feel like those experiences and people that you meet can really make a difference. One more thing I forgot to add. Yes, think about what you want to learn and what you can get out of step 2, but also think about the effect that you want to leave or that you want to have on other people too. Even though I've moved on to something else, I've been told and I feel that I have left a positive impact on people that I encounter along the way. And I want to continue to do that. How you treat people, the feeling that they have about you when you're there and when you're gone, that matters too. So don't just think about like what you can get out of something. Think about how you can help people on their journey as well. Even when you're no longer there, even when you are there. Life is give and take, you know. Relationships are give and take. So be sure that you're putting yourself out there too, and that you're trying to help where you can, rather because other people can learn from you too, and feel like maybe you said or did something that helped them grow or develop in some way or made them think about something differently too. So don't forget about that as well. Enjoy the journey, like I said. If y'all do have any questions for me, or if you have any advice or suggestions to give yourself, or just any comments about this in general, leave it down below. I would be happy to see it, read it, write back. I really do try to respond to every comment left on my videos, just because I definitely can at this point, but I really like getting the feedback and talking to y'all. So if you do have anything that you would like to talk about down below, please leave it in the comments. If you feel like you want me to expand on something or touch on something a little bit more, leave that down below too. I'm not like closed off to talking about I'm not closed off to talking about 9 to 5s more. If y'all want like a certain series, whatever, leave it down below. Let me know what y'all think. Obviously it's a big part of my life right now, so I definitely have certain experience. I mean, I ain't been working years and years and years, child, but like if you're around my age, or you know, you're approaching on these stages of life and you would like for me to talk more about it, like I said, let me know down below. But that's all I got. I love y'all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.